Are you about to do a whole book tour?
Yes.
Saying the same.
If I show you the schedule, man,
Yeah.
it's hectic.
But you're gonna be repeating yourself
Right.
over and over. How do you make that interesting? How do you keep that
I tell you what,
from getting boring?
I think the most important thing for me to do is my what I think about when I'm talking to my fans or when I'm talking to people in general that don't know me from nothing but sound bites and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
One soundbite in
It's
particular.
it's the excitement that come with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because what you want to get off your mind, you get an opportunity to. I mean, once you get a platform where you could reveal the things that you want to reveal and want people to know, because people think they know you, especially my fans. But a lot of times you go off of interview, and this is gonna be perfect for what we're talking about now. But you go off interviews and stuff like that, and then you judge people. But then a lot of times, if you think about it, you go through interviews after games, after losses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you might be a little bit more upbeat after a win, and you know what I mean? So it's so many emotions and small sound bites. They don't never really hear you talk about who you are and how you feel. And you know what I mean? Then when you're on certain platforms, I love when people ask different questions besides the same old, how's it feel to cross Michael Jordan? And you know what I mean?
Step over Ty Lue.
The practice situation. And that's cool too. I still, I had a problem with it back then, but now, that it's so popular, the one thing that I think about is from my emotions and where I was feeling that day, because I was happy and it's supposed to have been a happy moment, and then for you to turn it into a negative thing with the practice. If you would have did that with any subject, if you would have said something about clothes, or if you'd have said something about food, the first thing I would have been saying is food. We talking about food, you know what I mean? Because we weren't there for that. We was there for something else. You know what I mean? And people now, it don't bother so much, but back then, my best friend had just got killed.
Yeah, man. Was it killed then, or was it the trial was starting?
No, he had
just been
that
killed?
summer. I mean,
I felt like 7 months earlier.
Right before the season was getting ready to start for the next season in 2002. It happened right then. So, and then I was all tore up at that time. You know what I mean? And then that was supposed to have been a happy moment for me. So
You're
took all of that
staying
away.
in Philly.
There you go.
Hey, I'm back. I'm good.
And my kids, I can tell my kids, you know what I mean? Tell your classmates, don't worry about it, because they
were really like messing with your daughter. She was 7 or something like that.
They were just all of my kids, but it was not in a negative way. But it was just like, tell your dad don't leave. Tell your dad, and my kids don't know how to answer that because they don't. They know that I don't have no control over that. I didn't want to leave. You know what I mean? Then my wife, she out in the in the city, and people saying it to her and saying, please don't leave, Alan. So I was ecstatic going to the arena. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting ready to tell everybody.
Day.
And then they turned it into something else.
That's crazy.
And then you got the legendary rant.
It is funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, to me, now that I look at it, I was like, I was tripping.
Yeah.
I was really upset. You know what I mean? 25 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it was. I mean, if I could take it back, I would. But I just try to make as much humor, and it's wild to me because I can see somebody and they say, "Hey, we talking about practice," and I'm like, out of all the things I accomplished in my life, you bring up that. So,
but that's what non-fans know.
There you go.
I mean, they don't even know. The non-basketball fans, they
there
just,
you go. They remember that.
They don't know anything about,
there you go. I see.
11-time
you just told me something because I never looked at it like that.
I mean, My kids, I have a
it.
12-year-old and a 17-year-old. They weren't even born. So their intro to you is that video.
See?
That's it.
Yeah.
And then they see all this all these plays that, this guy, this as a real, but it all comes together as,
You told me something today.
But they didn't live through it.
Yeah,
we all lived through it.
So all they know is the sound bite. They don't know the other things,
Right.
The Hall of Famer and you know what I mean, like.
I mean,
top 75 all time.
Speech 9 years ago, whatever. That was,
You taught me
But
something.
they didn't see all that.
You helped me to explain it.
That's
a
it,
little
right?
better.
Yeah. How you doing today? How you doing right now?
Doing great. I wake up with the same agenda every day:
Which is?
live, laugh, love.
And what does that mean?
It means not disrespecting what God gave me when it come to my life, everything that He's blessed me with in my life. Not one single material thing, but everything that He's given me, my family, my friends, all of the beautiful things that life has to offer.
I mean, you have it all. Literally have it all. Living the dream, right? Hall of Fame, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So now you sit back and you look at it, and how do you spend your time? How does each day unfold?
Appreciating it.
Well, you get up, but physically, what do you do?
Now, I take my youngest daughter to school every morning. I love that aspect
How
of
old is
life. She'll be 17 in 4 days. You know what I mean? And, obviously she can do it herself, but I love that part.
Most teenagers are embarrassed when their parents
Yeah,
take them
and
to school.
it's
What
definitely
about,
like that with me too.
really?
Like
She's embarrassed with you at school?
she's it wasn't that bad at first, but her friends get a kick out of me, and it embarrasses her the way they react. So she don't want me around a lot.
Are you settled into life, or you still got that, I got to get out tonight?
I better be.
I got to be out.
No. And at the same time, the things that I never thought I would grow out of, the things that I used to love to do, like just to love to party, used to love to be around a bunch of people. I have no problem when I go to games and certain events that I have to be at, and I'm able to deal with it. But forcing it, you know what I mean, doing it when I don't have to do it, I never thought that I would grow out of that. Just a lot of things that I used to do, you know what I mean, is not there for me no more. Like I can actually, it's easy to get up here and talk about my maturation, but I can feel it. I can feel it now. I can feel the pendulum swinging. You know what I mean? I can feel the change. I can honestly get in front of a camera, get in front of kids and tell them, it's not that for me no more. And then when it was, it really didn't mean nothing.
I mean, it was legendary. You'd be out
Yeah.
till the sun came up,
Yeah.
right? I mean, all the time.
Yeah, I'm fun. I like to have fun. I like to have fun. I used to, not in a loud way, in a boisterous way, but I always like to be the party. You know what I mean? Just to be there, just to be involved, thinking I'm gonna miss something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then when you get older and you've done it all, and you were able to, watch other people go through that same transition. A lot of times they don't want to hear it. Like the old heads used to tell me, this thing gonna slow down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're not gonna love it like you used to.
Right.
And it all came into fruition.
That's all true. When you look back at yourself, at this kid who was, some people would say wild, right? Who was just,
That's what they would say. That's why this book means so much.
right. So you look back at that, what do you think?
I was a kid, by all means, and trust me, when you turn 18, legally you're an adult, but you're not there mentally. You know what I mean? I can even say late 20s. You're not all the way there. You know what I mean? And I had to grow up faster than most. You know what I mean? And I don't make my story no different from a lot of people that grew up in the certain circumstances that I had to. But I had to grow up fast. You know what I mean? Being that, I went through what I went through in my life and came from where I came from. Not one time will I make excuses. I will not ask God why. You know what I mean? That's, the last thing I would never ask God. Why? You know what I mean? Everything that happens in life is what he wants to happen for me. One thing about me, if anybody know me, I don't question him. I trust and believe everything that happens to me, good or bad. He's driving the car.
So here you are now, 50. You write a book. Why did you decide to, A, write the book, and then B, call it Misunderstood?
Great question. I wanted it to come from me, and my thought process was not trying to convince somebody that I'm who they think I am, or just not try to explain myself to anybody and have them look at me any different than they looked at me before. That wasn't the goal. You know what I mean? To try to prove to somebody I'm a good guy, or, you know what I mean, I'm not a bad guy, or that didn't mean anything to me. But when you have the overall outlook on me as a person, like I said before we got on camera, you go off sound bites and, things that I say here and there. And then you judge me off things other people say, commentators, and, wherever the noise is coming from, you have a perception of me from all of that. And then for one, time in my life with this book, I get a chance to, you hearing it from the horse's mouth. Now, you can change the way you feel about me or not. That's not the objective. You know what I mean? But that's what I wanted to do, and Misunderstood comes from you think you know, but you have no idea.
There's a lot there, man. There's a whole lot there. Misunderstood. So that means you want to be understood. There are people who've played a whole career. They don't care what anybody thinks.
Yes.
They could care one bit, right?
So
why do you need to be understood?
Everybody say that. Everybody
Says what?
I don't care what people think about me. I'll be damned if I don't. You know what I mean? Like, people always say that I don't care what nobody say about me. You know what I mean? I'm Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? I'm rich. I'm famous. You know what I mean? Some things are, a lot of things that been said about me that's lies, that's not true. Even with the practice situation. You know what I mean? I've never came out and said I didn't like practice. That's a perception that you got from that rant, from the legendary rant.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of things that people have said about me throughout my career, a lot of those things hurt. Now, did I address any of them or some of them? Some of them I did, some of them I didn't.
Well, what things hurt the most?
I would say the calling me a thug, when I know I'm not. I think judging me off of a look. I think that was one of the toughest things I really had to deal with, because when I came in the league, I was 21 years old. You know what I mean? I dressed like the older guys from my neighborhood. I always looked up to them and wanted to dress like them. I just couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? And once I was able to wear what I wanted to wear, that's what I was gonna do. You know what I mean? I wore what I wore to the games. When I'm after a game is over, I'm probably going to the club. Why would I wear a suit? I was 21 years old.
Right.
Well, I'm used to wearing suits to funerals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or going to church. You know what I'm saying?
Or the courtroom.
Or the courtroom.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a perception. The tattoo things. I got one tattoo and I got addicted to them. You know what I mean? I would have got it before, but like I said, I couldn't afford it.
So at the time, everybody watched you and heard you basically say, I don't care, this is what I do. This is who I am. But you're telling me that hurts you when people called you.
Because, okay, you think of John Gotti, notorious gangster.
Right.
What he wore, the most famous suits, $2,000 suits. Right. But look what was under the suit. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you judging me for how I look and and I knew I wasn't the person that they were making me out to be. You know what I mean?
So that bothered you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember being on a magazine cover, and they wanted me on the cover because of my talent and who I was, but they didn't really want who I was because they airbrushed my tattoos off of me. You know what I mean? I had tattoos on me, or I have things that mean stuff to me. My mom, my kids, my wife. You know what I mean? Like, things that actually mean something to me. And then when you airbrush that off, you're taking away from who I am and who I am to my family and what they are to me.
And when people say that that's a thug right there, that's a hoodlum, how'd that strike you?
I mean, it bothered me because it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not who I am. It's not who I want my kids to, hear that I am, knowing that they see another person when they look at me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bad feeling when people have a perception of you, and that's not who you are.
So you feel like you set the record straight in the book?
I talked about it. You know what I mean? As far as setting the record straight, that's not. I've been living with it so long, I've become numb to it, and I just feel like you heard it from me. Now you can go wherever you want to go from that point. You know what I mean? But I express to you that that's not who I am. You know what I mean? One thing about Allen Iverson that I want people to know is that I love being Allen Iverson. I love being who I am. If I died and came back all over again, I'd rather come back me. Now, would I rather come back and know the things that I knew before now, so I could, those mistakes, I can correct them, I could not make them or anything like that, or do things a different way? I wouldn't say that, because I wouldn't be the guy that I am now.
You wouldn't change anything?
I probably would change the fact that I didn't listen to Coach Brown early in my career like I should have. I wasn't buying what he was selling, and once I did do that, I became the basketball player that everybody know today.
What was the main thing that you finally listened to and locked into from Coach Brown?
Him, period. I had to realize that he wanted the same thing for me that he wanted for himself.
Which was?
To win, and wanted me to be great in the process, but do it the right way. You know what I mean?
And what does that mean, the right way, as
Play
opposed
the right way.
As opposed to the wrong way, which is what?
You had to be a basketball head to really understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
But just knowing how to play, you're more athletic than everybody, and you're faster than everybody, you're quicker than everybody. But you don't have to go fast all the time. You know what I mean? You don't have to. There's certain ways that you can be effective without using your God-given ability. Now, there's times you're gonna have to do that, and that's what takes you from here to here, because you can have, both. It's like a John Stockton type thing. John Stockton didn't have all the physical abilities, but he could outthink you on the basketball court. And that's what he was teaching me, how to think the game.
Does that mean pass more? Does that mean better defense?
No,
does that mean, spacing better? What does that mean on the floor?
It means all of the above. It means make the right play. If they're playing you one-on-one all night, then you destroy them. We cannot win games if you don't score the basketball. Right. We know that. We know that you're our weapon on offense. But when they double team you, when they triple team you,
get rid of the ball.
You gotta trust your teammates.
Get rid of the ball.
You know
right?
what I mean?
Yeah.
That part. And then what was so special about the cast that they put around me, it was the things that you lack in your game, the guys around me made up for it. That's why when people talk about how I took a sorry team to the finals, that's disrespecting me and that's disrespecting my mob. You know what I mean? Because if you look at them, those guys, you didn't have the superstars on my team. You didn't have the dominant scorers or anything. They made up for all of my deficiencies. The things that I couldn't do, they made me look good. When I gambled, I might have been the steals leader 3 years in a row. And when I gambled and I didn't steal the ball, it was Mutombo back there to take up for me. It was Theo Ratliff back there to take up for me. Like, we had real dogs on that team, you know what I mean? And the greatest compliment that I've ever had as a player in the NBA was they felt like the guy 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, if we had him, that we could beat anybody. Right. And that was the best compliment in the world for me.
Right. Just imagine if you were 6'6" and 220. All right. Didn't Kobe say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
So you would have listened to Coach Brown. What else would you have changed in your life story? Nothing? Something?
Nothing. I don't have no regrets. You know what I mean? It's easy to say all of these different things now that the career is over. My life's not over, but I can't say that I wanted to change certain things because I am changing with my maturation. Like I said, I feel the pendulum swinging. I feel myself not doing and wanting to do the things that I used to do. I wouldn't change anything because look how many people that I'm going to help by being me. You know what I mean? Even if it's one person, if it's one person in this life that I save by my life story, then my job is done.
Have people said that to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Like
People
what?
come up to me all the time and say, you saved my life.
How so?
You're an inspiration to me. The things that you've been through in your life, how you fall down and get back up and keep on going. You know what I mean? How you take all the shots. You know what I mean? Keep fighting. You get knocked down in the first round, second round, third round, all the way up to the 12th. And you keep on fighting. You still standing at the end of the fight. You know what I mean? Like, that means everything to me. The things, the one thing about, and it's crazy that we talking about the book right now. And one thing I always say to my friends and my fans and my family is that I'm an open book. Like, yes, I'm embarrassed about the practice situation. You know what I mean? Like, I am, you know, because it got out of hand. And there's certain other things that I'm embarrassed about, but they're not so embarrassing and so hidden that I can't share it with the rest of the world, you know what I mean, to help somebody else to know that, man, Allen Iverson been through the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he overcame it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like my girl, for example, I've been with her 35 years. You know what I mean? Ups and downs, you know, everything. She knows how to deal. She say all the time, you know, she called me Bubba Chuck, why do you let people stress you out? Why do you do this? And I said, you know, you're better than me when it comes to, you know, not being stressed out for certain things. You know what I mean? I can't help the way I feel when certain things happen. I can't control it. And I think I say to her, I have a gift that God gave me that I'm so open with my life and willing to share things with my life. Look how many people that I can help by doing that.
Can you give me an example of someone who came to you and said, you saved my life because of X, Y, and Z. This happened, that happened, and I looked at your story and it worked out for me. Something specific.
Something that's, whether you say something early in my life as being incarcerated for something that I didn't do, and given 15 years for actual fight. No guns, no knives, no chains, nothing.
And the video shows you walking out of the room, right?
But it doesn't matter. It didn't matter about. I mean, to me, it matters if I did what they say I did or not. But regardless, whatever happened to me, I never questioned God after that, you know, because that was the first time I ever did it, is when I got when I was going to court to get sentenced. And I asked my grandmama, I said, why is God doing this to me if he know I didn't do it? And she said, son, never question God. And I've never done it again in my life. And even when I went to Georgetown, Coach Thompson used to tell me, or used to tell reporters, that not one time did he ever talk about the incident and felt like he was a victim. All he ever thought about was now that he has another opportunity to make the best out of it. Right. You know what I mean? And people who see that type of story and realize that I come from where I actually come from and what I made it out of, you know what I mean? That's inspiration to people to know that, you know, when the cards are stacked against them, you know, they can still make it.
Yeah, and people tell you that all the time.
All the time. One of the best feelings in the world is being called an inspiration.
Wow. That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
That's real. Wow. Okay, so practice. You brought it up. I didn't even bring it up.
Why I do that to myself?
Is there a day that goes by when people don't say practice, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Where they don't say it?
Yeah.
Okay, but most of the time you're telling me they do.
No, I mean, it just happens sometimes. We talking about practice, you know what I mean? And you helped me with that whole thing, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times, if people didn't see you play and to see all of the things you accomplished, and that's a sound bite that's legendary, that might be the only thing that they ever saw.
Yeah, my kids are 12 and 17. They never saw you play, but they saw the practice rant.
Yeah.
They've seen it, as a whole generation has been, right? That's how they know you. Mm-hmm. How does that strike you, after all that you've done, to be boiled down to one word?
Life. Life. You know what I mean? I'm here. And whatever life throw at me, I deal with it. You know what I mean? Because one thing about me, and I'm not religious to the point where you'll see me in church every Sunday. You know what I mean? I can't even remember the last time I've been to church. You know what I mean? Unless it was a funeral. But I have the greatest relationship with him. And I know it sounds cliche when you get awards and first thing people think, I want to thank God and all that. I have a real relationship with him, in my mind, in my heart. I have a relationship with him. I talk to him every day. Only thing I ask him for is to take care of me, my family first, you know what I mean, my friends, and take care of me. Just keep me safe and healthy. And if I'm healthy, you know, cure me. I mean, if I'm sick, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That's basically it. I don't ask him for no money. I never asked him to go to the NBA. You know what I mean? I don't ask him for material things, anything. Just be with me. I believe in you. You know what I mean? Whatever happens, I can't do it without you. I believe in, I really actually believe in him. You know what I mean? And believe he makes every decision that happens in my life. So what I concentrate on every day is I'm gonna make sure, like I said, I'm gonna just live it out to the fullest. I'm gonna laugh, you know what I mean? I'm gonna love.
I asked you about practice. You're talking about God here. That seems like a leap to me.
Yeah, because it happened. I'm legendary for something that was taken out of context. Now, we were supposed to go to that press conference, like I told you earlier, all of my family and friends and myself was going through it throughout the trade talks. Trade Allen Iverson, trade Allen. It's on the TV every single day. It's in the papers every day. And my family was struggling. You know, my kids was going to school. Their teachers was saying, tell your dad don't leave. You know what I mean? My wife walking around the city. Tell your husband, please don't leave. Don't go nowhere. We love him.
Stressful situation.
And it was so stressful. And I didn't want to leave. You know what I mean? I love Philadelphia. And when they called me in that day, it was like, look, you're not going nowhere. There's no trade. So I was like, man, can we call a press conference? Can I go, tell the world, tell Philadelphia and the rest of the world that I'm not going anywhere. Tell my fans, my family, everybody. Yes, you can do that. Call a press conference. We go there. And I promise you, to this day, I don't remember what beat writer it was, but he just kept doing it. And then if you familiar with being an NBA player in a city, you have certain beat writers, you know what I mean, that write, some of them is cool with you, some of them not. some of them know how to get under your skin because they've been around you for so long. You know what I mean? And he was just at it. You know, practice this and practice that.
How come you don't show up? I mean,
Not so much. You know what I mean? Well, I don't remember exactly. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing, but he just kept on talking about it. And I just got so frustrated because the conversation and the celebration supposed to have been about me not going anywhere, not about practice. So if he was talking about anything and it was on repeat, we wouldn't be talking about the word practice. We'd be talking about something else that he was repeating. You know what I mean? And it made me feel so bad because I'm sitting there, well, looking at it in hindsight is like, well, damn, they were thinking that you don't like practice and you didn't practice and you a scoring champion, MVP, you know what I mean? Like all-star, first team, all NBA, Hall of Famer, top 75 anniversary team, all of that, and you didn't practice. So imagine if you did practice. And I wish, like with all the accomplishments that I had up to that point, I wish I was thinking like that. But I was so upset about the practice thing. I could explain myself a little better, but it was just right there on the spot, and I just reacted the way I reacted.
When you look at it today, what do you think?
I think it's I don't have the bullseye on me anymore because I'm not one of the faces of the league. So I can talk to you right now and get it off my chest and be thankful that you asked me about it so I could talk about it and let people know how I felt in that moment.
Is it funny? Can you see why people think it's funny?
Yes, I can see why, and I definitely see the humor in it. But if you're me, you know what I mean, and you knew what was going on at that time, it wasn't funny back then. Now, I came out of it unscathed, so me dwelling on it in a negative way, why not, embrace the humor and the whole thing.
I mean, you're on a commercial with Kevin Hart and Steph Curry. And you're like,
look, and I told people,
we're
I'm
not
sorry.
talking about practice?
I'm sorry, but I told
so
people, because I just did 2 commercials recently, this week, and they tried to get me, it was somewhere in the realm of, reenacting it. You know what I mean? No, man, that chapter in my life is over. You know what I mean? Now, if I'm somewhere and I'm joking about it in an interview or something like that, okay, cool. But as far as that being something where, you trying to reach somebody to, to get your point across with me, no way.
Is it funny or embarrassing?
It was embarrassing then. Not so much now. It was real embarrassing when it happened because, if it still runs this many years later, then obviously you know how much it did back then when it happened.
Right. But you're past it.
Absolutely.
You're way past it.
Yeah, I would, like if you talk about it now, and I wouldn't cry. If somebody, hey, we talking about practice. No, you talking about practice, man.
Like every day. Not every day, but often enough, right?
Enough.
All right, I'm gonna leave that
Too
alone.
much.
Yeah. Give me one word to describe yourself.
Loyal.
Why loyal?
Because I love who I love, and I appreciate them. I appreciate the people that I love. I'm loyal to the people that's loyal to me. I'm loyal to my fans. And the majority of them are loyal to me. I had to learn the hard way when it comes to loyal fans. Fans that respect and love you, the person also, besides the basketball player. A fan has to respect you too and love you for your privacy, for your space. And it's hard sometimes because a lot of times a fan will see you and they feel like this is my only opportunity regardless what the setting is, whatever the ambiance is. They feel like this is my chance and I'm not taking no for an answer. And that's not fair, you know what I mean, to me. I've had times where, and I think I got the best fans in the world, so this is no shot to my fans, but it happens, this is real life. I'll be eating. Me and my daughter, I'm feeding my daughter. Here, AI, sign this. Bruh, or ma'am, you know what I mean? I'm feeding my daughter right now in a minute. You know what I mean? Can I take care of this for us? I'll do that for you. But I'm your fan. I'm feeding my daughter right now. Well, and AI, he ain't better than Kobe Bryant anyway. He's better than you. I'm like, I ain't say no. I said not right now. You know what I mean? And it actually happens. I mean, I've had one girl. I was at a Dave and Buster's with my kids one time, and the lady said, "Can you talk on the phone to my kid?" You know what I'm saying? And I was on the phone with my mom at the time, but my kids were playing. I'm on the phone with my mom. I said, "Ma'am, I'm on the phone with my mom. You know what I mean? I'll get with you in a minute." "Well, what, your mom important than your fans? She more important than your fans?" And I was like, no reaction. I was like, in my mind, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get away from you. You know what I'm saying? I just walked away. But, you know, for the most part, like you have those, because they feel like when they see you, it's their time. Like, you know what I mean? They do the double look, they look, and then first thing they do, like somebody getting ready, you know, when you sitting around, it's like when they waiting on you to eat, you know, finish eating or whatever you doing. You paying for something in line, and it's like they jumping rope, you know what I mean? They just waiting for their turn to get in. And you love it, like you wouldn't trade it for the world, but a lot of times you just think that, you know, they should be a little bit more mindful that, you know, the reason that you love Allen Iverson so much is because he's just like you. Sometimes you gotta, you know, put your foot in his shoes and look at the situation. How would you feel if this was the case? You know what I mean? Let's reverse this thing. You know what I mean? And then I think a lot of fans, because a lot of people say, oh, "Okay, I'm sorry, I respect that." You know what I mean? You know, but I'll be over here waiting on you.
Right.
And that's cool. I'll finish doing what I'm doing, and then I show my love the love that they well deserve, because they love me and they loyal to me, and I love them for that.
You use the word loyal, and you're extremely loyal to your friends.
Yes.
To your friends from back home. You brought them along with you for the ride.
Yes.
Did you feel pressure? No pressure?
Was not even not even a thought.
You come through Georgetown, #1 pick, you're making this money. I mean, that journey, everyone was putting their bet on you. You're gonna basically take us to a place we wanna go, haven't been. Did you feel pressure as far as that's concerned? No?
Couldn't have said it better than how you said it, just like that. You know what I mean? But 21 years old, I've never had a blueprint to life.
Right. You're making it
Better yet, rich life. Never had nothing in my life. Right. I didn't have no blueprints. I never had nobody in my family that ever had money. I never had nobody in my family that had ever been to college.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything I was getting from people in unfamiliar territory. Right. You know what I mean? Coach Thompson was like the first person that I ever been around that had that type of success and could understand what I was going through and where I was trying to go. He used to always tell me, "You always listening to somebody that don't know what they're talking about." You know what I mean? How can they tell you how to get from A to Z and they ain't never been there? Right. That's one thing he used to always tell me, and I was like, damn, you know what I mean? And, you know, when you young, the people that you listen to the most are always, #1, your friends, and you're definitely supposed to listen to the adults. Right. You know what I mean? And that journey was something that I anticipated was gonna be the greatest because I love my friends. I love the guys that love the guy that's always been this guy. You know what I mean? I always thought in my mind that I was never gonna be the person when I looked in the mirror that the people that I love and that love me wouldn't recognize.
Right.
My mom, my family, you know, my girl, you know what I mean, my kids, everybody that I love and that I think love me. I never wanted to, and I think the dress code, but besides that, the NBA never really tried to, they never wanted to, David Stern, may he rest in peace, never wanted to change who I was. But I was put in a unique situation being that I was as talented as I was at that age. I was expected to act more mature. But I was 21 years old. It was something that the NBA had never seen. We never seen nobody come in here dressing like this with the gold chains and the diamond chains and the watches, and he got cornrows. You know what I mean? I got cornrows in my hair because I was tired of going on the road in the barber messing up my hairline. So I was like, man, if I grow my hair out, then I don't have to worry about that.
It was simple as that.
Simple as that.
There was no plan to become a cultural style
none
icon.
of that.
Right?
I was being myself. You know what I mean? I have no problem. I love myself. I have no problem being myself. I think it's a disrespect to God wanting to be somebody else. Yes, I wanted to be like Mike, basketball-wise, but I never wanted to be Mike. I wanted to be me. I wanted to be my own version of me. I'm happy with who I am. And then why would you want to be somebody else anyway? Everybody else is taken up. You know what I'm saying?
But think about it though. You become a style icon, whereas in the beginning you were a pariah, basically, like a bad guy for dressing the way you did. That's the way they portrayed you. But now you're an icon. Think about that journey.
I took
That's
the ass
unbelievable
whooping for these guys to do what they're doing now.
Everybody dresses the way they do.
But if you think about it, anybody in the league, do anybody play the same way? You got all of these guys, you don't do that to a person. All you want to be is comfortable in your own skin. Like just when I do a commercial, okay, I tell the people, what do you want me to wear? Okay, we have this for you, Mr. Iverson. You can send me all of that stuff and I'll put it together. You don't have to steam my stuff. I'll do it myself the night before. And I'll put all these outfits together with my clothes. You don't want brands, name brands on them? Okay, I'll put all of it together to fit me like I wanted to fit me, and then I'll wear that. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't have a problem. Like right now, all of these guys in the NBA, they have their own unique personalities. And dressing means a lot to them. So now that they had the red carpet and all that, I wish they had that back then. But I love it when guys coming in with their own, you can see their personalities and how they dress. It means something to them. They're comfortable. So they go into work to play and feel good. And it's just a beautiful thing. And the good part of me about taking the ass whipping from it is now I get the flowers for it from them. Right. You know what I mean? Man, I had a problem, with being this way. You know what I mean? Man, you inspired me and made me feel like it was all right to be myself. Ain't nothing wrong with being yourself. I always say that. If you're not a bad person, you're not out there hurting nobody or doing nothing, illegal, then what's wrong with being you?
So you weren't trying to make a big statement?
With my friends?
No, with the way you dressed.
It was therapeutic. It was organic. It was just, you know what I'm saying? I was just, okay, just like now or today. I'm going to do this. I'm putting on this. I'm wearing this. You know what I mean? Just like everybody else. You got something to do today. I get my outfit the night before, just like the day before school. The same way. I'm doing this today. You know what I mean? I think, like with me, I still at 50 years old, I dress to impress my homeboys. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna kill them with this. You know what I mean? When we all going somewhere and we go downstairs, you know what I mean? I want to be the best dressed. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get outdone by one of my friends, one of my partners. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's it's something that you think about, but man, is it a dress up event? Man, can we wear hats? Do we have to wear a suit? Can we wear sweats? You know what I mean? Like, it still goes on. It's nothing that you thinking about and, this is what the world going. Well, I take that back, because you want to be fly. So that's a lie. I take that one back.
Okay, so you're just trying to be fly, but you become an icon, like,
Yeah.
right? People think of you this way when they think about style.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it's awesome. Let me tell you why. Did I say this in the book? Because if you know Bubba Chuck, like my nickname growing up, I'd be damned if he was ever known for any type of fashion. I did not care about anything when it came to school clothes. I wanted them, and it would have been nice, but all I cared about was my sneaker. Ma, all I want is the new Jordans. If I can get the new Jordans, I don't care about what I got on, as long as I have them on my feet. You know what I mean? I had like maybe 3 outfits in high school, and one pair was my sister's. One pair of pants was my sister's jeans. You know what I mean? Like, that was not a big thing. As long as I had those Mikes on my feet, my hero shoes on my feet, then I was good. So it's when I got older, you know what I mean? It's just like when you're young, you don't even care about taking a bath when you young in front of projects. But once you start getting around girls, then everything changed. And that's how I was with dressing. You know what I mean? I wanted to dress good. It mattered to me. And then when I was able to, I used to look at all the rap videos and, look at I don't know how good it is, but it's the truth. It's all I can do is be honest. But the drug dealers from around my way used to have all of the stuff that we wanted. And once I had the opportunity to be able to afford that type of, those type of things, that was my process when I went shopping.
You tell a great story the first time you you matched up with Michael Jordan, or you walked on the court and Michael Jordan was there. You looked down and what's he wearing?
He was wearing the Jordans. He had them on. It was him. It was really him.
How did that strike you at that moment?
I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I think I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan in the world. I think I am. I think I'm the best. I think I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the world. I know I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan. I will argue you down when it comes to that. I love him that much. You know what I mean? I've seen him a plethora of times, and he never looks like a real human being to me. I mean, I've never seen someone look at someone, and maybe it's just that I love him that much. I get nervous around him every time I'm around him.
To this day?
Yeah, like
Really?
I went to a Charlotte game. I live in Charlotte, and he was with, obviously, the owner of the Hornets. And he invited me to a game. We come up, and we in his suite, and my friends pulled me to the side and was like, Chuck, he called me Chuck. Like, Chuck, man, you are embarrassing the hell out of us, man. It's like, you a superstar too, man. Don't do this. You know what I mean? And
what were you doing?
Just, man, do you know how much I love you, man? And and this story and that story, and this is what you mean to me. And, I always looked at you. You look like a superhero on the basketball court. And I always wanted to look like a superhero like you. And I put my flavor like you in my headband and my wristband. And, my shoes always got to match my uniforms and, different, you know what I mean?
You're a Hall of Famer talking like this?
It's Michael Jordan, man.
But you're one of the 75 too.
You got to understand that I wouldn't be one of the top 75 if it wasn't for him. He gave me the vision. He made me want to be an NBA basketball player. From watching him. I wanted to be like Mike. I really, literally wanted to be like Mike. You know what I mean? When that commercial came out, they was talking to me.
So you're up here like a little fanboy around
Absolutely.
A grown man to a grown man.
And you know what? Those are the moments where even when the fans don't act appropriate to you in certain circumstances.
Right.
Like when I was telling you about feeding my kid, or
Right.
that lady, you know what I mean, saying, what, your mom more important than your fans? You think about young guys and girls that actually play the game. How do you know, Allen Iverson, that they don't feel about you like you feel about Michael Jordan?
Right. Right. You can understand.
And that's, for me, that's a hard pill to swallow, because now if you're thinking like that, then you really negate having any type of personal life.
But you can understand where fans are coming from.
Absolutely.
If you feel that way.
I'm telling you how I felt about him.
About Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so
right?
I do understand,
Right.
but sometimes I don't understand. I mean, it's just life.
You're human.
It's just life.
So, best ball player of all time.
I just explained that to you.
That's it, period.
I mean,
when people say LeBron or Michael Jordan, what do you say?
I love LeBron James. I love everything that he's done for himself, for his family, the things that he's done for his family and his friends are remarkable. The things that he's done for the world, things that he's done for the NBA, the friend part. See, I didn't have, the way I felt about my friends, I think LeBron gave a lot, besides what he did on the court. He gave a lot to the world, and the guys that's professional athletes, he gave a lot to them off the basketball court, and how he was able to make sure his friends were successful.
As a businessman, right?
As a businessman.
Yeah, big business.
I wish I had that blueprint then.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think, I said it before, if you look up the word basketball player in a dictionary, it'll be a picture of LeBron James.
There's a but here, though.
Absolutely.
But what?
Michael Jordan is everything to me. He gave me the vision. You know what I mean? I've never seen anything like it. I'm not gonna go over the stats and what his accomplishments or anything like that, because we don't even have that much time to talk about his legacy and what he's done to the game, what he's done to the world. I could never put anyone before Mr. Miyagi. I'm always gonna be Daniel's son to him. Always. He's gonna always be the teacher. He's always gonna be Mr. Miyagi. They don't call him Black Jesus for nothing. It's for real.
What about Kobe? Who are the top 3, 4, 5? Top 5 players who've ever lived?
To me.
As far as you're concerned.
Now, I'm glad you're bringing this up, because there's nothing wrong with anybody else's list. I don't care what your list is. You can, if you want to have a list and your 5 is all bench players, it's your list. Nobody can beat you up for you having your favorites. You know what I mean? So they played in different eras, and it's a whole bunch of scenarios.
So who's on your list? Top 5.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal.
Steph Curry.
Absolutely.
That's
Never
the top
seen
5.
nothing like it before in my life.
Why?
I don't know why.
He changed the game.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it. I mean,
everybody shoots threes now.
I'm thinking about the things that he must see. He's must see TV. I just love his confidence. I love his swagger. I love everything about him. I can go on and on. You know what I mean? I go back, and this my old man stuff that I'm on right now, but I can remember playing Toronto in the playoffs. And I remember sitting with my manager at the time, and we sitting beside each other. I had just finished working out before the game, and I'm watching this little kid. I mean, had to be maybe this tall, and he's just out there shooting and shooting. And I asked the ball boy, I said, man, who is that? I said, that's Dale's son, Steph. I was like, damn. I'm talking to my manager. And it's a true story. I'm like, man, he's going to be something. He's going to be able to shoot that thing like his dad one day. You know what I mean?
But he was totally underestimated. I mean, they didn't
Look at
see,
him now.
but they didn't
shoot it
see
like his dad? Nobody,
his dad can't shoot it like him.
Nobody in
Right.
this world.
Right.
And I don't think, and the crazy part about the NBA and the growth of our league is so special because right when you say you've seen the greatest, obviously, to me, is Mike, but then here come Kobe, here come LeBron. Say the best shooters, Reggie, then here come Ray Allen, here come Steph. Talk about big men, you talk about Bill Russell and Wilt and all those guys, Kareem, then here come Shaq. You know what I mean? Here come the Joker. Elijah. It just goes on and on. You know what I mean? Now it's Luka and it's Giannis and it's Shea and it's, Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. And that's what make our sport the best. You know what I mean? Because right when you think you've seen it all, here they come. Some guy right now is laying in his bed, and before he wake up, he had that dream about being in the NBA. And we're gonna have to see him soon.
Who would you be like genuinely afraid of to play right now?
I can't use that word.
You're not scared of anybody?
It would be excited.
Who would you be concerned with? Like, maybe I can't take that guy.
Oh, a lot of guys.
Today?
A lot of guys. I think like in a one-on-one matchup, or just period.
Period. I mean, on the
Man,
floor,
Luka.
you'd be worried about Luka.
Luka.
He's not a defender.
Oh, I ain't never worried about a defender. I don't care who it is.
Nobody. There was never anybody?
No, yeah.
There had to be one guy.
I had problems with Kobe was there. Yeah, I knew his presence was there. You know what I mean? But I didn't get nightmares when it came to him.
Did anybody give you nightmares?
Yes.
Who?
Marcus Banks. You
I
probably.
don't even remember
know what I'm
Marcus
saying.
Banks.
But if you're a hoop head, and guys around the league know, because he was big and stocky, 6'2", he could move his feet laterally. If I beat him, he could slide and act like cut my path off by his strength. Right. It was just if you're an NBA player or a hoop guy, you know what I'm talking about, because he got the size and the strength and the quickness all together. Because it's hard to stay with a guy super quick, and he can and he know where he going and you don't. It's just like how Deion Sanders is the greatest corner ever, because that's the hardest position in all sports. Right. And then you got a speedster that know where he's going on the football field, and you have to stay with him. Right. That's a super talent.
So you were worried about guarding him, or
not worried
him
about
guarding
him
you?
now. It was a lot of people I was worried about to guard.
Right.
A lot of guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stephon Marbury, Baron Davis, Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
Baron
Davis doesn't get the credit.
He will when he walk up on that stage.
Yeah.
Receive for Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Unbelievable player. What about today's players? These guys do load management. All right. They got you for practice, missing practice. These guys today miss games.
Right.
To rest, to get to the next, to the rest of the season. You never did any such thing.
I tell you what, you talk about, they bring up this practice thing all the time. I tell you what, I remember stories where when I was injured, they had to hide my uniform from me. I remember.
Because you were hurt and they didn't want you to play?
They didn't want me to play.
In the game?
Yeah, I remember times where I tried to get guys to go to Mitchell and Ness and grab me a uniform, just crazy stuff like that. I'm just not built like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather play hurt than not at all, because I love the game so much. And you know, I thought about if a coach would say, you know, AI, we're gonna give you the night off. Like, for what? And we're just gonna rest you. No, man, rest me at practice. You rest me there, man. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to rest me. I didn't even like coming out games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Better yet, you know, you gonna rest me, you know what I mean, and have me miss the whole game. No, because I gotta sit and watch my teammates play without me. That's torture. You know what I mean? All of the things that I can help, you know, help them with. Like, I want to be in the foxhole with them.
Right.
You know what
When
I mean?
Coach Brown would take you out of the game, you would call him a certain name
I
early
don't-
on.
I don't. He say that. You
That's
know
what
I
he
mean?
said.
I don't remember that, but that's
that
what,
right?
and if he said, I never call him a liar. So if he said it, then
You don't remember it?
all I know is I didn't like coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to each his own. You know what I mean? I'm not going. I would never sit up here and bash any NBA player for the decisions that they make. That's why I can't do the whole commentating thing.
I think you're just saying that.
I can't.
You got to
do it.
think.
Now, when I'm at home,
You got to think
when
that
I'm at
these
home
guys,
with my friends.
These guys are soft because they
When I'm
come out
at,
of
no,
the
I
game.
don't think like that. When and I'll never say that out loud like that. But when I'm at home, I'll say things that I wouldn't say on camera. But that's why I could never, because every NBA player is special. Every NBA player went through a lot to get to where he at. Everybody want to be an NBA basketball player. The guy on the guy on the end of the bench, you know what I mean? You put him in college, or put him in a high school, or put him on the at the YMCA, he'll look like Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So I respect them too much, and I love the guys that do the game. I love the guys on TNT and ESPN. They're wonderful. But myself, I couldn't get up there and criticize other basketball players.
You played your heart out. I mean, that's what people remember you for. What do you want to be remembered for as a player on the floor?
Someone that played every game like it was his last. That's it. My high school coach told me that you play every game like it's your last, because you never know when it is. And that actually came true. I didn't know that retirement was looming. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna play forever. Every time I look in the mirror after the game, I feel good about who I'm looking at. Because if I was Oprah Winfrey from the field, I gave the effort, the all around effort. And I think that's why the people in Philadelphia gravitated to me the way that they did, because they knew I was giving 110% every night, regardless. And then I always had that thought in my mind that this might be the only time somebody get an opportunity to see you play. So you want to leave an everlasting memory in their mind. Even like when I played against Mike that night, I was excited that I was getting ready to play against the best. But I said, these people already know who number 23 is, but when they leave here tonight, they're gonna know who number 3 is.
I think they do. There's so many things, man. The toughness that you put on display every night, where's that come from?
Football player,
Your first love?
football player, first love. And I'm just naturally tough. Now,
Not afraid of contact?
nah, I'm just tough and just love the game. I've been a football player, and then just my fear. You know what I mean? I always look at it like it's a game. It's just a game. You know what I mean? You know how people they play a certain way at home than they do on the road. You know what I mean? Like, the challenge is the same for me. At home, you get the adrenaline, and you know what I mean, and it feels good. Every shot feel like it's going in, and you know you moving in a different pace than everybody else. You feel good, but it's the same thing on the road for me. Cause instead of them screaming, you get to shut them up. It's a whole different mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I love playing on the road. Everybody screaming all the, you know, the stuff that they scream at you, and then you get the last laugh by knocking them off. You know what I mean? I used to hate losing on the road. You know what I mean? And walking out of that gym a loser. You know what I mean? I took it better with home losses, because those are people that's cheering for you.
Did you play differently in the playoffs versus a regular season?
One thing about me that I felt, well, people feel when I tell the story, they feel it's unique, but I feel it's the only way. I play the same way if I'm playing pickup, same way if I'm playing a preseason game or a regular season game, as the playoffs, the finals, all-star. I play the same way because I don't know, you know, I think you're disrespecting the game when you don't play hard.
You dive for loose balls in the preseason?
Absolutely.
Tear up your knees?
It's not a thought. It's not a thought. It's never been a thought. I know how to play the game one way. So it all just, like, if you see the ball there, and I always had that mentality growing up in sports. And one of my coaches taught me that if it's me or you, it's me.
Right.
So if it's me and you going after that ball, you might not be willing to die for it, but I am. I want it more than you.
Willing to die for it. You said that.
Yeah.
You meant that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I give everything. That's when I knew that it was time for me to leave the game. I remember when we was playing a home game in Philadelphia. This was my last game, and I was at someone was at the free throw line. I was in the backcourt, and my daughter was sick, and she was sick with Kawasaki disease, and I was in the backcourt, and I was thinking about her. Right then, while somebody was shooting a free throw, I was sitting there and thinking, and that was the first time that I was thinking about something besides the game in my life.
You remember that?
Yep. And then right after that, I went in and talked to management and said, "This is it. I can't do it no more. I'm not being fair to the fans, the organization, to myself, my teammates, nobody. You know what I mean? My family need me." So that's when I decided this is it.
Did they understand? Did they understand?
Oh man,
They appreciate
all
that?
the way. I mean, I love the organization for me. I mean, they paid me for the remainder of the season and everything. You know what I mean?
Which team was this?
Philadelphia.
This is Philadelphia.
It was
You came
my
back.
second stint.
You came back.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense, man. That's powerful.
It was awesome.
What's not in the book that you didn't tell? Give me something else. I need something different.
That's not in the book.
I read the book. I saw the film. There's another film. I haven't seen that yet. I've seen the podcast. I've seen it all. So give me something that you haven't given everybody.
Probably one of the best decisions. I know for sure, if it's not, I won't put a ranking on it. I'll just say one of my best decisions and one of the proudest decisions that I ever made in my life was to stop drinking.
When was that?
I think about 6 months now.
Wow.
Yeah,
How you feeling?
better than I did when I was doing it. And I thought about it. I thought about all the good times that I had doing it. I thought about being hungover, and the times that I felt like saying, "God, please, you know, if you get me through this right here, I'll never drink again."
Right.
And I talked to him about it. It didn't take no AA. It didn't take no therapy, no nothing. It was just me wanting it for myself, and more importantly, it gotta be myself, you know, because I can't do anything for my family if I don't do anything for myself.
You just made up your mind.
Yeah, man.
Why? Why did it take?
It was one trip. We was riding to Philadelphia, and I didn't feel good. And one thing about me, I don't like not feeling like myself. And I just didn't feel good. You know what I mean? And I had the conversation. I said, "Look, if you get me through this, enable me to go to sleep and wake up and this feeling is gone. Because I felt like that before. You know what I mean? I had the same feeling and, got over it and, drank again. And I said, you get me over this. When I wake up tomorrow, when you open my eyes, I'm done.
Wow.
And, I think, like I said, she was my wife. We got divorced, then we were back together, and we've been together 35 years now. And what was crazy was she told me, when you told me that you were stopping this last time, because you've done it before, when you told me, I prayed on it. You know what I mean? That was the first time I ever prayed on it. And you were actually truthful with what you said. You actually stopped. And the wild part about it, I think it has something to do, I know it has something to do with God, because I didn't even have the urge anymore. I don't like being around, I don't like smelling. It's tough for me now because now my friends and my family members and people that I'm around, they still drink. And you talk about the practice situation, I look at people now and all I can see when I see somebody drunk, all I feel is the embarrassment. Like, I'm like, damn, I used to be like that.
For yourself.
Yeah.
How much do you appreciate Tawana?
I don't have no words. I can't. And I don't even think we have enough time. I'll go on and on and on and on. Everything that ever happened with any type of separation when it come to us had something to do with me. I can't never say she's been wrong a million times. We've been together 35 years. And if you ask her, if you ask myself, I'm wrong 99.9% of the time. But that one, what is that? A tenth? What is that?
0.1 something.
Whatever that is.
I don't do math.
She don't want to even, she don't even want to admit to that. And that's where we have our little problems. But, it's never, we've been together so long, and I don't never think we're going to get to the point where it's going to be like, Claire and Cliff. You know what I mean? It'll never be the Huxtables around there. But my maturation had a whole lot to do with that place being comfortable and peaceful. You know what I mean?
Still together? Back
Absolutely.
together?
And I wouldn't have it no other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't imagine, I can't imagine my life without her in it. I can't, that's not life to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my partner, that's my best friend. You know what I mean? And she deserves, all the flowers in the world for who she is to me and who she is to our kids.
Right. That's intense, man. What was your drink of choice, by the way? What did you have?
It went from, in the beginning, because I was a young head, so it went from the beginning, it was Moet from the videos, from the Biggie Smalls videos.
Right.
Then it went to, they elevated, and I went to Cristal first, and then ultimately for the last 20-something years, been Dom Perignon. But as a youngster, like college, it was Oli and St. Ives, and then it went to this No Money. So it was Hennessy and Remy. That was all I ever drunk.
Right. Do you miss any of it?
No.
Not at all.
No.
You don't feel like
I love the feeling. I love the clear mind. I love, like, if you know Allen Iverson, there's no way that he's making a 6 o'clock flight. There's no way he's making a 5 a.m. flight. There's no way. You know what I mean? From here on out, from the point that I stopped, I'm always asking Tawana, hey, can I get on at 6 o'clock? They don't have anything earlier than 6. You know what I mean? Oh, now you can't do that. You got the 9, the 11, or the 1 o'clock. Oh yeah, put me on the 9. You know what I mean? Like I don't have no problem getting up when I supposed to. I don't have no problem with it coming to meetings, whether they in person, they Zoom calls, whatever. Like it's just nothing.
But you used to.
Absolutely.
Being on time, being at where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
It was a problem.
Absolutely. You know
Until
what I mean?
6 months ago.
Because it adds that because I've never been arrogant, I've never been conceited, I've always been never been cocky, I've always been confident. You know what I mean? But it adds a certain cockiness, like a
Invincible.
yeah, it's like you know how guys, you go to the club, you're supposed to go to a club to have a good time. Most guys go to the club and they go in the club for women, but you got them jokers that go in the club and they end up fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The drunks, because it does something to your, what is it? How you say the word?
Testosterone.
Yes,
Yeah.
it goes to that. Your aggressiveness. It just makes you super aggressive. You know what I mean?
That was you.
Yeah, and not aggressive in a physical way, but and it turns you away. Man, I don't care, man. I get there when I get there. You know what I mean? Like that attitude. Yeah, the attitude is not you. If you think about it, when you get drunk, you're not how you usually are. Right. You are drunk.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the more and more I see it on other people, the more and more it make me happy about the decision. And the more and more I see how the people around me appreciate it, I love it.
Did you ever play a game drunk?
Play a game?
Yeah.
I never ever played, well, yeah. I never actually drunk during the day of a game, but I've been out the night before like everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And one thing that I found out as I got older, like I always drink Dom Perignon, and I used to, because I used to always think like I can do anything I want to do at nighttime. I can go all the way to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I don't have to play until 7 o'clock the next night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was nothing to me. So when I started to feel like damn, like it's almost game time and I still don't feel like I feel, and then you go a quarter and you have to like actually run it out of you. You know what I mean? Then you start feeling like yourself, midway through the first quarter, like, yo, okay, well now I can't even drink before games no more because I'm getting older and it's affecting me.
Right.
So, but I ain't never actually did day of or whatever.
Well, like you said, you had to run it out.
Yeah,
It was still in there.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But when you're young, you can do
when
just
you're young,
about
you
anything.
can,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's crazy too, that part.
You think about that. That is-
Transitioning, like
yeah.
you can feel it in your body.
Yeah.
Like, man, I ain't never, just, because I always be thinking like, because I fell and I hit the ground so much in my career, I always feel like, like I just wake up one morning and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And just out of nowhere, like I know I ain't falling nothing or whatever, and it's just, I still talk to the trainers from Philly now. Like I talk to them like I play, you know what I mean? And I ask them about it and be like, Chuck, you getting old, man.
You're still only 50, let me just tell you that. I'll tell you right now. Speaking of which, here you are, 50. You're a vice president at Reebok. Mm-hmm. Did you ever imagine that was a thing? That would be a thing someday? Allen Iverson, vice president at Reebok. What does that mean? How does that sound to you?
It sound grown up. It sound like a responsibility. You know what I mean? It sound like trust. That's important for me. You know what I mean? Because people feel the same way I felt like I was gonna play forever. people feel like you're dealing with the same old Allen Iverson, and that's tough business-wise for me.
What's the mission? What's your mission at Reebok?
In the basketball space, take it back to the top like it was when I was second behind Jordan all of those years.
In terms of selling
sneakers,
shoes?
yeah.
But that's a big job. Like you
Yeah,
gotta have players who are wearing the shoes, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
But it's first of all giving them that comfortability of them knowing that they're not just gonna be another guy on the brand. You know, the attention that they seek and want, they'll get. You know what I mean? It'll be shown.
Who do you have right now?
None of the guys that obviously we just bought out a shoe with Angel.
You went after Shea, that didn't work out.
He was already under contract.
Right.
But we would rather have, opposed to guys that's already established. I want to see the guy, the sleeper that everybody think, or don't really know about. Right. And then I have the opportunity of sharing my experiences with him on how I did it, you know what I mean? And him being able to implement whoever he is to the brand, and the world get to see something that we never saw before, like they did with Allen Iverson. I don't want nobody to, be like me. It's like basketball or anything in life. Like my kids, I want them to be like me. My son, I want them to be better than me. And it's the same thing. I want you to have the impact in the shoe world or, in the basketball world that I had, but in your own way, your own unique way.
But how do you find this next kid? Where is this person? Are you a scout now? I mean, you looking at film? Are you going to games? What do you do? How do you find this person?
Man, I'm a basketball head. Right. So I just listen and I get tapes, you know what I mean? And it's guys out there, it's just like a scout for the 76ers. You go out there and you evaluate these talents, and then you have film on them, then the powers to be sit there and they watch. And then they get closer, and then they get closer, and they see the guy, and then more and more, and then you meet him and talk to him, and find out where his head is at, and then you make a decision.
It's a competitive environment, right?
Yeah, and it's
extremely competitive.
And obviously Shaq the big dog, but just me being put in that position and given that responsibility is just a step to where I'm actually trying to go to be where Shaq is and to make those type of decisions on my own. You know what I mean? And the good part about it is I got Big Bro to give me a blueprint. And then he's the type of guy, if you know him, you know what I mean? If you know him, you gotta love him because of who he is. You know what I mean? The type of person that he is, the type of person, how he love and how he care. It's like, he cares about what I think. Like, he don't even call me Chuck no more. He called me Vice President. What's up, Vice Pres? So when I seen him at the Hall of Fame, you know what I mean? Like, he was excited about me having that title and me helping him to bring us back to prominence.
But compare the pressure to succeed at Reebok to competing as an athlete on the floor. That's a different kind of thing, but I imagine there's a lot of pressure.
On the floor, I got way more control of what I can do, you know what I mean? And obviously, if you're the talent, you have the more control. I can make you look fly if you give me an opportunity to, because like I said, when I was a kid, that was my thing. And then as a guy that worked for Reebok, I actually knew what I wanted and how I wanted it to come across. And I think that's why our relationship is everlasting. That's why I think we have a lifetime contract, because they were always loyal to me, and I always remain loyal to them.
Yeah, they're gonna keep you more than afloat. In 5 years, this thing turns into millions of dollars.
There you go.
That's kind of that's kind of nice.
That along with a lot of other things.
Right? That's kind of nice.
I told you the pendulum swinging.
Yeah, it is. As you get into your golden years here.
Absolutely.
Your hip hop career. You look back at that.
Okay,
right
see, did we ever talk about anything that was embarrassing?
Yeah.
And I said the practice thing.
Yeah.
All right, that was the most embarrassing.
Hip hop album?
Yeah, that was the most
Performing
embarrassing.
on music.
That was-
Performing music on records.
That was the most embarrassing. I was forced into that.
Forced into
Not in a negative way or actually and literally. Like it was not like that. It was two of my friends, Ra,
one who
may he
died.
rest in peace. Yeah. He and a guy that I grew up with, another guy that I grew up was a group, and they did it. And when we were shopping around trying to get deals, we got a deal from Universal, and Universal wanted me, and I think that was for them to catapult into what they wanted to do. You know what I mean? And like I was just the plug, basically. And
So you make this album.
and I embarrassed myself.
Did you write the lyrics?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I just, I remember, what am I writing about? And I remember them just telling me, just to be tough as you can be, man. Just be as gangster and tough as you can be, man. And every time that you couldn't think of anything to say, just kill. And I was like, and then that's when you got the stuff that you got. And
Really?
And I actually remember when it happened. I remember David Stern calling me here, and I'm nervous all the way there. And one of the most uncomfortable feelings in the world, may he rest in peace. Man, he was in the office, and he started reading my lyrics to me. Man, I wanted to crawl up under the table.
Do you remember which lyrics?
Yeah,
Can you tell me?
no.
Why not?
Man, you gotta just listen to it. You gotta listen
Which
to
song, 40?
it. 40 bars, yeah.
40 bars.
It was bad. It was bad.
No more of that.
Never. Never. Well, if I do it, it won't be not that type of content. No. And I won't do it. Like it'll just be for fun. Like, it'll never be no albums and nothing like that.
Is writing this book, doing these films, having conversations like this, is this like therapy?
Therapeutic.
Is it?
Yes. I'm telling you because I get the good feeling that I get now and that I have is everything, answering all of the questions that you're asking me and not having a problem with answering any of them, not being uncomfortable for you to ask me anything on camera for the world to see, because I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nothing to hide. Like I said in the beginning, I'm embarrassed about certain things, yes. You know what I mean? But what does it do? How can you channel that? How can you use it in a positive way? You know what I mean? You can save somebody's life.
What do you hope people learn from your story?
The resiliency, you know what I mean? The not giving up, the fight, you know what I mean? The belief, the way he believes in God, the way he understands that none of this is possible. None of the good days would be possible. You always dwelling on the bad days. Well, if it weren't for God, you wouldn't have the good days either. It wouldn't be nothing to balance out. It's a lot good in this world. Everybody always talk about everything bad in the world. Well, I'm not trying to find out. You know what I mean? When I die, I die. You know what I mean? I don't never think about dying. Now, am I cautious? Do I, you know what I mean? Will I try to jump out of a building and thinking everything gonna be all right? No. Will I go somewhere where I put myself? No. Like I'm not doing that. But I do know that if you think about what's here, what's in this world, the people, the great people, you're gonna run across your bad apples, man. You know what I mean? I've seen it all. I'm an athlete. I've been with guys since I was yay high. I'm 50 years old. I've been around all types of personalities, all type of people, everything. I've been around bad people, good people, honest people, liars, thieves, crooks, every type of person. So when you come around me and you think you selling me something, and you think you camouflage, and you think you under disguise, you think you a sheep in wolf clothing, and you think I don't recognize it, you got another thing coming. I've seen it all. I've been through it all. You know what I mean? You're not gonna show me nothing that I haven't seen. I've seen hate. I've seen love. You know what I mean? I've seen. I know what it looked like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what come with not knowing what it looked like.
Right.
That's where it come with all the, you know, the bad things that happen, all the good things. I know what success look like too. I know what it look like. I know what it take. I've been through it. So when I'm talking to a kid, you know what I mean, and I'm talking to a room full of them, it's 500 kids in there, just get one, Chuck. Just one of them get your message and take it and use it in a positive way. And you helping God do his work. And like I said before, I'm not trying to be all holy, man, and act like I'm walking around with holy water and sprinkling it on everybody when I see them and all that. But it's just my experiences, man. I'm just sharing my truth with whoever's willing to listen to it. And you take whatever you want to take. You can take one thing I say, if I'm talking hours. You take one little thing that maybe took a minute and it helped you in your life. I did my job.
It's a hell of a story, man. Thanks for sharing the time.
You got it, brother.
I was surprised to learn that you learned the crossover from a guy from Brooklyn who barely played at Georgetown. That's where you learned this? And
Look what that guy, look what he gave me.
I mean,
Look what he gave me.
everyone thought that was...
I'm known all over the world.
Right.
The globe.
But you learned it from another guy. You didn't make it up.
He didn't even have his name on the back. The most important thing for me was when I was going to college is I've always wanted my name on the back of my jersey.
Right.
This guy did not have, Dean Barry, he did not have a name on the back. He was a walk-on.
He didn't play.
Didn't even play.
But he had a nasty crossover.
Man, he used to hit me with that thing at practice.
Wow.
Man, look, I put my pride aside, my ego.
Yeah.
Hey, come here, man. You gotta show me how to do it.
Right.
And to this day, he still will say, yours is better than mine. And it go right back to the saying I told you earlier today. You Mr. Miyagi, man. I'm Daniel's son. You taught me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You taught me.
When's the last time you actually shot baskets, played a little bit? You're not trying to get hurt, right?
Hell no.
No.
Listen. I go out there and I mess around because Dream, my daughter, she likes to mess around in the court that we have, you know, at the crib. And I be out there and I knew and I know for a fact that it's over. When you start just shooting jumpers and you winded from that, the party over, Jack.
You old, man.
It's a wrap. So I don't even do it. Last thing I'm gonna tell you how I learned my lesson. I've always been faster than everybody.
Right.
A couple of years ago, we outside a restaurant and we in there talking trash to each other, me and my friends, talking trash. And one of my guys, he called me Answer. There's a long story to it. It's funny, real funny. He called me the answer. Answer, I'm faster than you. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, all right, man, whatever. Man, I can beat you right now. So we go outside. My best friend tell me, said, Chuck, man, you need to stretch, man. Like, you stretch, man. You don't run. You don't do nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? When the last time you ran? It's been years since you ran. You just gonna go and race this guy? Man, I don't gotta stretch to beat this guy, man. Da-da-da-da-da. And I see him over there. He's stretching. He getting himself together. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there over there looking, I'm gonna smoke his ass. You know what I mean? He like 5 years younger than me. So he telling me, look, this is what we gonna race to. Me being so confident and ignorant, I might add. No, I'm good with that distance. You ain't gotta shorten it up. Now, if we would have shortened the distance up, then what happened wouldn't have happened because the race would have been over.
You ran out of gas.
I take off. I'm smoking him. I'm looking at. I see him. You know, I can see him a little bit. I'm running, but I look back one time. He like 10 yards behind. I'm smoking him.
Right.
I get close to that finish line. Hamstring. Came up lame. Man, it was the worst feeling. I started, I screamed, everybody just laughing. They got it on video, they laughing, whatever. Nothing funny for me. Man, I was hurting so bad. Wow. And he caught me. You know, ran past. I couldn't even finish. Now, I got past where we were supposed to have been racing to. Now, if I would have just put my ego aside and left it where it was at, the race would have been over. I wouldn't have kept going, and it wouldn't have never happened.
Yeah.
But you took something positive out of it. Since then, now I know that it's over.
It's a wrap.
I'm not trying to. I got in the car and went home. I couldn't even sit like in the car. It was so bad. I'm riding home like this. I couldn't even sit on it. You know what I mean? I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't sit on it. You know what I mean? First thing I do, call the trainer. You know what I mean? And at the Sixers, and
hamstring.
2 weeks.
Wow.
I dealt with that. I couldn't walk right. So
that's a tough lesson.
No, man, that was it.
That's it.
No, I might shoot some jumpers. You know, at the commercial site and all that. We doing something with the ball. I mess around a little bit, but for the most part, party over.
Here's what I'm asking. Can you show me a crossover? Show me how to do a proper crossover. That's what I'm asking.
And when
like
I
right
show
here.
you,
like right here.
That's not gonna happen.
It's not. Well,
yeah, because when I show you how to do a crossover, which I don't know how to do anymore, what are me and you gonna get out of this?
I'm gonna show my kid.
Okay, let me tell you what to do. I'm gonna give you the perfect formula for doing that.
Hey, what's that?
All right, take your phone.
What do you mean? Why is it not gonna happen?
I'm just gonna
We're
tell
right
you,
here. I'm
gonna tell you the best way to do it.
I don't need a phone.
No,
We're right here.
I'm getting ready to tell you the best way to do it.
What?
I'm gonna tell you why you need a phone opposed to watching this old ass man get out there and embarrass himself. Okay, you take your phone and then you go to Google or you go to YouTube and then you put in Allen Iverson crossover
and imitate
then you hit the button and it's gonna go to it and it's gonna show you everything.
But he's not gonna tell me, no, do this, do that. He's not gonna say all that. See, you'd be able to do that right here.
He's gonna say what?
You can say, no, that's not it. Do this, do that. Right?
No, when you looking at it, it's just gonna be the same thing that you see out here. Because when you looking at it, you gonna say, no, son, you doing it like this. This is how Allen doing it right here.
Just give me some credit for trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying. What do you mean it's not gonna happen?
You was not gonna succeed with that one right there.
Really?
Not gonna have me looking crazy like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got it. Damn, I tried.
That wasn't even a gallant effort.
Well, I mean, I just
I don't even
What, you want me to
you
beg?
were selling me.
You want me to beg? Is that when it works?
Then that's what's going to embarrass both of us.
That's what I mean.
Because I'm still not going to do it.
Okay, so that's why I'm not doing all that. NIL. Nowadays in college, kids getting paid, not just a few dollars, real money. When you look at that, what do you make of that? What do you think of it?
I love it.
Makes you happy.
The best feeling in the world. You know what I mean? Because I was them. I was there. I was the guy that felt bad that when the house that I left had the sewer and the water in the house was up about this high. We walked around in that house and you can hear squish, squish, squish.
Kept your shoes on.
Kept the shoes all night. Took them off and then got in bed, like sitting in the bed, pulled them off. You know what I mean? Could not walk in that house without it. I was the guy that went to the refrigerator and it was baking soda and some water and roaches everywhere and, you know what I mean, living conditions terrible, no AC in the summertime, no heat in the winter. I was there. I was the guy with all my clothes on in the bed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And mommy come in there and say, I said, Mom, cold. And she said, Bubba Chuck, just put on another jacket. And I said, I have on all the clothes that I own. You know what I mean? Like, I've been that guy. So when I see everything that's going on with the NIL, you know, it brings, I mean, it makes my heart feel so good because I know where these kids, I know where they come from when they sitting in their dorm room and they got heat and they got AC and they eat 3 times a day. You know what I mean? I understand it, man. And they think back like I did, that my mom, I know the house that I just left. I know the conditions and the circumstances was going on where my mom and my sister was living. You know what I mean? And I'm up here and I felt bad. I cried many nights. You know, I'm just sitting in my room with heat, with AC, like just chilling. TV, we don't have cable. You know what I mean? One TV in the whole house. We got cable and, you know, ordering room service and, I mean, not room service, but, you know, ordering out, you know what I mean? And, you know, food spots on campus and buffalo wings every day. And, you know what I mean? Like, and my sister be lucky to eat once a day.
That was hard.
You know what I mean? So when I see this, whoever, you know, and I'm not going to act like I'm, I hate talking about something I'm not educated on, but, you know, sit and talk about the powers that be that made all these things happen, but kudos to you. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing, and I love it. And when they say, don't you think they're getting paid too much? They're not getting paid enough. Ain't no limit to where I'm gonna feel like it's too much. You know what I mean? Whatever they feel like they worth, pay them. You know what I mean? And I love it. It's the same thing with what's going on in the NBA, all these outrageous contracts. I love it. You know what I mean? You think us old heads, all us around here upset because, you know, and I think about it sometimes like, damn, man. You know what I mean? Why in the hell can you have me 10 years later? You know what I mean? Like, you had those thoughts.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you see these outrageous contracts just make you happy, man. Just make you feel good because I know how the player feel. I know how I felt. You know what I mean? You can do so many things for so many people in a positive way. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing, man. You think these contracts are something right now? Wait till 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to answer your question shorter than what I did before, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's really something. Hey, man, thank you.
My man.
This is fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.